Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We just got the patch notes for the latest 4.1.1 PTU patch. It's initially going to be going to Evocati with a potential of going to Wave 1 later tonight. We'll have to see on that. So I wanted to go through these patch notes really quick. There is a ton of stuff, but there is one really big particular thing that is a very surprise change that I wanted to go over. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go through this. So our server configuration, we are looking at a 73600, so that has not changed since they adjusted it for the Align and Mine activity. So potentially maybe throughout this cycle we'll get more servers added. Maybe we'll go above 10 servers in total on the shards. Testing and feedback focus. So we have stability and bug fixes and ship battle missions V1, patrol, ambush, and ghillies gauntlet missions. Not ready for testing and feedback is Fleet Week events, new missions, and hauls. So 4.1.1 is shaping up to be, it looks like, the Invictus patch, which is probably why the testing, the time it's been taking to go through testing has been a little bit slower, because by this point with the previous months, they would have already been well into the open PTU at this point, because the patch would be coming out in like a week and a half. So it looks like 4.1.1 is going to be our Invictus patch. There's also going to be some new mission. They're not ready for feedback again. A mission meshing refactor for some of the handyman, PvP bounties, other types of missions. So hopefully we get more of those as we go through PTU. New collector rewards, NPC comms calls, dialogue additions and improvements, and redacted. So those several things have not been added yet. Let's go on to the features and gameplay. Alright, features and gameplay. Locations. New space POIs, asteroid cluster mining base. Added dozens of new asteroid cluster mining base POIs around Stanton and Pyro used for missions such as the new Ship Battle V1 mission editions and more. These asteroid bases will have gameplay features such as turrets and gas tanks for use in the various missions, but do not have an interior. Okay, so just a generalized location where the new missions can take place. Then we have under the gameplay section, Ship Battle Missions V1, Part 1. This content delivery is focused around developing a new set of missions featuring ship combat. Each mission will have improved scenario design and leverage new technology to allow us to improve the narrative flow of missions. The goal is to deliver missions with superior scenario design and a greater level of polish and attention to detail. Patrol missions. The patrol mission takes the player through a series of patrol points. Patrol missions will be offered by Foxhole Enforcement, legal, and the Headhunters, illegal. At each point, a semi-random event occurs and escalating ship archetypes may appear depending on mission difficulty and previous events. These missions are gated by location to reduce unnecessary travel time. If you are at Stanton 1, then all the missions you are offered will send you somewhere around Stanton 1. That's a really nice quality of life improvement. This is to reduce the need for excessive QT times and shift the balance of QT gameplay ratio towards engaging with content. Each level of difficulty also has a chance to spawn an ace pilot who is an elite member of the Frontier Fighters willing to die for their cause. Foxwell offers illegal missions against criminals. These will not have a reputation structure, and progression will instead be gated by completing early missions a number of times to unlock later ones. Currently, any player without a crime stat will move up to the next rank after 5 of each completed mission until very hard and extreme difficulties, which will require 10 of the previous to unlock. Headhunters offer illegal missions for patrol. Any missions offered by Headhunters in Stanton will be displayed in the Unverified tab and risk sending players against security forces and civilians, giving them a crime stat. They will award an increased amount to offset this risk. Headhunters has an existing reputation structure, starting with very easy rank 1 and escalating to extreme at rank 5+. Next we have ambush missions. The addition of a new ship battle mission type known as ambush missions. Players must reach a location, head to a spot where their signature will be masked, power down their ship, and wait for the hostiles to arrive. Once their targets arrive, the player must attack and destroy all of them. Reinforcements and ace pilots, both friendly and otherwise, will appear depending on the level of difficulty. Ambush missions are offered by Foxwell Enforcement, legal, and the Headhunters, criminal. Foxwell offers legal missions against criminals. Any mission offered by Headhunters in Stanton will be displayed in the Unverified tab and risk sending players against security forces and civilians, giving them a crime stat. They will award an increased amount to offset this risk. Advanced Combat Training Gauntlet. These new Foxwell combat progression style missions from Gilly send players through multiple scenarios of ship versus ship combat. Players are tasked with an implicit mission chain where we introduce new challenges and let the player figure their way through things rather than hold their hand every step of the way. The missions are intended to be for players who already know how to fly and are at least somewhat familiar with the game, but don't necessarily engage in much, if any, ship combat at all. There are 8 total scenarios to unlock and progress through with increasing difficulty and complexity. 1. Single targets. 2. Multiple targets. 3. Target priority. 4. Target stealth. 5. Missiles and countermeasures. 6. Multi-crew targets. 7. Corvette with escorts. And 8. Capital ship encounter. Alright, next we have the ships and vehicles section, and boy oh boy is there a very unexpected change here. So, ship balance passes. Argo Raft cargo improvements. The Argo Raft has undergone a few changes that have resulted in a hefty change to its cargo capacity. This is due to the design change on how we want to handle loading and unloading cargo. The 3 arms of the raft have been retired in favor of a single grid that supports 192 SCU cargo capacity instead of the previous 96 SCU. In addition, due to this change, the old style of rail tractor beam would not function, and has now found a new home on the left side framing of the ship. This station is controlled from the rear control room. And then also we have for the Anvil Valkyrie, it has had its HP greatly increased to all its hull and joint health. Further thrust capacity increases, but with a very slight max speed adjustment. That was, I believe it went from about 44,000 to about 90,000 or so, so a little bit more than doubling of the HP on the Valkyrie. But holy crap, this raft improved, like changed. It's like that's like a full-on rework almost for the raft, I would say. So they've gotten rid of the little crane arms that it has, and I assume it'll just be an external, upside down relative to the ship, probably, cargo grid that would hold 192 SCU. So the old one could hold 332 SCU containers, I believe. So let's see. That would be... So that means it'll be able to hold 6 instead. So it'll probably be a single... No, it'll probably be 2 levels. So it's probably just going to be, you can put 3 and 3 in two stacks. But that is a very large increase. That's a doubling of its cargo capacity. So that is very unexpected, but I'm very happy to see that. They've adjusted the tractor beam as well, so hopefully that'll be pretty usable. So very interesting changes, though. So we'll have to see what other changes we get. Maybe we'll get a couple of other minor reworks to ships this patch. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this? Is this going to make you want to use the raft more? So I think it makes it a lot more viable being in that medium ship size, but now it's going to be quite good on terms of cargo capacity. So we'll have to see. Let's go and let's check out next the weapon and item section. Okay, we've got a few interesting changes here in the FPS section. So let's go ahead and look at it. So FPS balance passes. For the Karna rifle, we have the min spread has been increased from 0.1 to 1. The max spread has been increased from 5.5 to 7. The spread per shot increased from 1.37 to 1.8. And the reduced alt-fire projectile speed bonus from 2.5 to 1.75, so 1500 to 1050, in line with snipers. So it looks like the Karna has had a little bit of a buff, so it probably will be a little bit less accurate now with this. And then also if you're using that alternate projectile mode that it has, it's not going to travel nearly as fast. So interesting. We'll have to see how that shapes up. I have seen the Karna is really popular, and it seems to be really, really good. So, I'm sad that it's maybe getting nerfed a little bit, but, it's kind of how it's going to be. Next, we have the Gallant Rifle. Adjusted the head cam shake to make the weapon feel smoother to fire, and the damage has been increased from 19 to 21. So the Gallant Rifle has had a buff, so perhaps that'll get it into a little bit more viability, make that a little bit better of a weapon to use. And then lastly, we have the Paramed medical device. The Paramed is used in the pistol slot. The idea around this change is not only to make pulling the med gun out easier using a pistol keybind that does not conflict with multi-tool, but to also offer some more choice in taking a pistol versus a medical device. That is a very interesting change. So you'll be able to have your tractor beam on your hip still, but in that pistol slot, you gotta now either choose if you want the medical device or a pistol, or sidearm. So I feel like sidearms aren't super commonly used right now in the game. Maybe that'll change in the future. So I'll probably just run a medical device, and that'll make it a little bit easier because when I press 5, it's like if I have a handheld tractor beam and then a max lift and then a med gun, and I press 5, I want the med gun, and it gives me all the other ones except for the med gun. So I think it's a good change. So some very interesting weapon changes. And overall, it's very interesting looking first potential open or like Wave 1 PTU patch. So if we do get that to go to Wave 1 tonight or tomorrow, I'll make sure to make a video trying to go try out some of these new missions and see how they work. If you enjoyed this little bit of a breakdown of the patch notes, feel free to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, especially on the Argo Raft and the Valkyrie. Like, what do you think? Do you think those are good changes, or just your thoughts in general? Let me hear it down in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you in the verse.